Hello and welcome to General Chemistry at Fordham University. My name is Dr. Koningsman. I'm one of the professors at Fordham, and I'm going to be taking you through general chemistry along with some of the other professors in the department. So we're going to start with Chapter 1 in Ebbing, and this first chapter is sort of a mix of what you would do in high school versus what you would do in college. So there are going to be some things in Chapter 1 that you have to work on your own, and then there are going to be some other things that we're going to go over together. So, what you're going to notice is that with every chapter, we provide at the very beginning in our slides an outline for that chapter. And the reason why we do this is just to sort of give you a roadmap for what is in the chapter. And sometimes, actually, this is very helpful because it allows me to tell you what I think are the most important things in sort of bullet point format. So you'll notice that this is at the beginning of every chapter, and this allows me to kind of go through and discuss the chapter in a bigger sense before we get into the nitty gritty of each topic. So in chapter 1, we have the first part, which is defining matter. This is really a high school review, so this is something that you should study on your own. These are all things that you would have already covered in a typical high school course: states of matter, solids, liquids, and gases, chemical versus physical properties and changes. One thing that some high schools cover and others don't is conservation of mass and chemical changes. You're going to see some homework problems on that, and that's something that you should definitely read in the textbook and make sure that you understand. And then you have substances versus mixtures and things like that. Now, what we are going to kind of cover in Chapter 1 is measurements, how to quantify things chemically and physically. So we're going to be talking about dimensions, volume, temperature, converting between units. Now, that's the biggest thing, is unit conversions. So we are going to go over a whole variety of different unit conversions. And then what we're going to do is we're going to look at that for both things like just straight up unit conversions from one SI unit to another, and then more complex things with density. So one thing I'd like to mention here is that there's a really great tutorial on Blackboard involving unit conversions. It's actually me. I created a worksheet and a video. It has a whole variety of unit conversions. Then the video is me going through them. So you can actually, if you have trouble with unit conversions, you can go to that in Blackboard in the Chapter 1 content and check that out. And then there's significant figures, which is another thing that we actually don't cover in the lecture portion, but there will be a video that we'll make that kind of just summarizes it. And then we do a lot of practice with this in recitation, especially the first recitation.
Okay, so I just wanted to show you guys some resources for the course and where you can find some resources. So this is a representation of the Blackboard. Each year the Blackboard looks a little different, but it should be very similar for your year. You're going to see something in that Blackboard that's going to say extra study materials for each chapter. When you click on that link, it's going to bring you to this page, and it's just got this laundry list of the different chapters. And in each chapter, what you're going to find, so for example, for Chapter 1, I'm going to show you the resources that we have to help you out in Chapter 1. When you click on Chapter 1, there's going to be a laundry list of some things that are helpful. The first thing you're going to find is you're going to find the Chapter 1 slides. So the slides are the things that I have in the presentation that I give. So you can see that this looks very similar to what we're using in this actual video. So you can print these out and take notes on them. You can actually work your problems directly on them. You'll see that there are some blank pages. But the thing that I want to highlight most notably in this first few tutorials, or the few tutorials that might be very helpful to you. So there is the tutorial on unit conversions that I was talking about in this folder. If you click on the tutorial on unit conversions, you're going to see there's a video here. This is on YouTube. So you can watch directly the video from YouTube. And then there's also a unit conversions worksheet, which when you open it up, it's going to open up a PDF. And you can see that there are all these different unit conversions that you can try. Some of them are simple ones, and some of them are more complex. Another thing that's in this folder that's very helpful is there is a tutorial on significant figures. This opens up and gives you not only does it give you all the rules, but it also shows some examples for unit conversions. So there's one other thing that I wanted to introduce. There are the drills and solutions. This is just a PDF that has some multiple choice questions that we've come up with. Some of them are from our textbook, and some of them are from things that we've come up with. So this is an excellent source of multiple choice questions and is good practice for the exam.
Okay, so how do I study for chapters 1 and 2? Normally we don't give these explicit tips like this, but for the first lecture we are. So in chapter 1, there's a lot of stuff that you're going to have to do on your own. Sections 1.1 to 1.4 and 1.6 to 1.7. These will be on the exam. You must study them, but we're actually not going to lecture on them because they're just a review from high school. I think you'll notice that when you start to read it in the textbook. And then tables 1.1 and 1.2 should be memorized. These are the SI units, grams, liters, things like that. And then also the orders of magnitude, kilo, mega, centi, deci. So those are the things you should memorize. And then just as a little bit of a preview for chapter 2, we're going to talk about chapter 2 in a couple of lectures, but sections 2.1 and 2.2 again are something we don't cover, so you should start to read those in the textbook on your own and prepare those. They will be on the exam, but it's not something that we really cover in detail. Now, one thing that I really want to mention, because this is going to be kind of due in your first recitation, is you should prepare flashcards from tables 2.6 and 2.8. These are for nomenclature, and it's something that's good to get started doing now. If you have your flashcards now, you can start memorizing the names of different cations and anions, and that will help you get ready as we go into the nomenclature section of chapter 2. And another thing that I want to mention is just that the OWL problems are coming due soon. I know this is the first lecture, but because a lot of this first chapter is review, we're going to have some OWL problems due right away. So be cognizant and look at the syllabus for when those are due at sort of the very beginning. So look at chapter 1 and see when the first set of OWL problems are due.